Today our topic is particle in a box. It is also called potential well, but most commonly it is called particle in a box. So first we are going to start with the classical mechanics, because starting with the discussion of classical mechanics, you will more easily understand the difference between the quantum and classical. So in classical mechanics, the meaning of particle in a box is that the energy of the particle is constant. That is, the energy of the particle remains same for a very long period of time. So as you can see here, I have placed a elastic block inside a rigid boundary and the floor is frictionless floor. Since the floor is frictionless floor, when you move the block inside this rigid boundary, it will strike here and there, but ultimately it will rest in the same position. But in quantum mechanics, as you can see, I have illustrated this with a graph. This is just a graph representing how potential varies with x. So in the graph, as you can see, we have taken 2 points. Here x is equals to 0 and here x is equals to a. And inside this boundary, the potential is 0 here. That means there is no force here. And in the other sides, the potential is infinite. And why the force is 0 here? Because you know that force is integration of v dx. So if potential becomes 0, so the force also becomes 0, and there is no other body to make the particle move. So we get Vx 2 points, that is 0 and infinite. For 0, it is less than a but greater than 0, and otherwise it is infinite. In the region 0 greater than x and less than a, the particle is free, but it experiences a force on the boundary. To describe this phenomena, let's take an example. Suppose you are standing inside a room and the windows and doors are closed, so you can't get out of the room without opening the door. So the same situation happens with the particle here, whose potential is 0. It cannot get out of the boundary since all the paths are closed. So when I told you that in this region the particle is free but it experiences a force on the boundary, it actually means that the probability of finding the particle is 0 outside the box. So I have written here, you can see the probability of finding the particle is 0 outside the box, or we can say that psi x is equals to 0 outside the box. So it is clear to you how particle inside the box behaves when we describe it through the quantum mechanics. So now from Schrodinger's time independent equation, we know that minus h ln square by 2m d square psi by dx square plus v psi is equals to e psi. And from the graph we know that we have potential, that is v is equals to 0 inside the box. So when we put v is equals to 0 here, we get minus h ln square by 2m d square psi by dx square is equals to e psi. So changing the sides, we get that d square psi by dx square is equals to minus 2me by h ln square psi. This minus 2me h ln square psi is a constant value. Okay, before that you need to know that this psi is an eigenfunction and not a wave function here. Okay, so now k is the constant I told you, but this constant, that is k, is not a normal constant which we use in certain equations. This k is actually the that constant which we used in wave equation. You knew that k is the propagation constant, which is 2 pi by lambda. This is the same k here. So 2 pi by lambda, we know that lambda is equals to h by p from de Broglie hypothesis. So k is equals to 2 pi p by h, and then we know p is the potential. So value of p we write root over 2 me by h, and we know that h line is h by 2 pi. So here we write root over 2 me by h line. Squaring both sides, we get k square is equals to 2 me by h line square. So k here is basically root over 2 me by h line. A question might arise in your mind that why this k is not an imaginary term, and why this k is we are using the propagation constant. Because let's say we are taking an assumption energy greater than is equals to 0, because for a moving particle energy cannot be less than 0. There has to be some energy, so energy is always greater than 0 for a moving particle. And when we take this, we have to assume that lambda is there, because from Planck's law we know that E is equals to h nu. So if we take k as the imaginary term, we have to take lambda as also the imaginary, but lambda, that is wavelength, can never be imaginary term, because for a wave there would be some wavelength, and that wavelength is specific, it can never be imaginary. So now you can understand why we cannot take k as the imaginary term here. So the general solution of the differential equation is psi x is equals to a sin kx plus b cos x, where a and b are the arbitrary constant. And arbitrary constant means that if you take any value of a and b, for every value the equation is possible. And for this equation there is a condition which tells us that psi must be continuous, which require psi 0 is equals to psi a is equals to 0. So placing the value of 0, we get psi x is equals to b cos x, because cos 0 is 1 and sin 0 is 0. Now using psi a is equals to 0, we get that a sin ka is equals to 0. So from here either a is equals to 0 or sin k is equals to 0. So if we take a is equals to 0, the maximum probability of finding the particle in the box becomes 0. And this can't be possible, because if this is possible, the whole theory of particle in a box becomes wrong for us. So a is equals to 0 is not possible. So the remain sin k is equals to 0 remains. So now ka is equals to 0, plus minus pi, plus minus 2 pi, plus minus 3 pi, and so on. So now from here also we can take that k is equals to 0 or a is equals to 0, and ultimately we get that k is equals to 0. That is, ultimately we get to know that the particle inside the box has k is equals to 0, and that's how we know that the particle cannot move outside the box. That's all for today. In the next video we will continue with the last topic of this quantum mechanics, that is the harmonic oscillator. Thank you for watching.